that? Great. Thank you. Just look at those. Perfect. Thank you so much. Sure. Thank you. Cool.
Hey guys, have we got everyone on the call?
I think more people are joining.
Oh yeah, guys. I'll just silence my phone actually, because knowing my luck, a customer will ring through halfway through. And sorry if you hear the odd ding. I don't know how to turn off the notifications on my email. Hopefully not too many people will email me while we're chatting away. Do you guys, it's only 8:30 now. Do you know if everyone's on the call or you want me to wait a little bit longer?
Was Sonia joining?
No, she's not. She
No.
has another meeting.
Okay. That's so fine. I think we're good to go.
Okay, perfect. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to record this because we might use it for onboarding long term as well. Make sure everyone's ready.
Thank you, Naomi.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, guys. Firstly, thank you very much for joining me today, because I know you guys are all really busy and that this is obviously your personal training time for upskilling and things as well. So do appreciate you taking the half hour with me. I will try and stick to half an hour. Apologies in advance if it goes over. If someone needs to leave earlier, then it is being recorded for you also. So what I will do is kind of in way of agenda today. I know Sonia sent through a bit of an agenda, but going to do it a little bit differently, mindful of time. So I'm not going to be going through client avatar and things like that. I think you guys are all familiar with who's the ideal client for us. More going to run you through the sales process, what I do, what information I'm capturing, where it's held, and how you guys can essentially find that information quickly and easily at your end as well. Does that sound good to everyone?
Mandy, I'm down here. Mandy, quickly, can you cover off what the ideal customer avatar is, just super quickly, because that has changed. So the team probably aren't aware of who that kind of ideal customer is. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So essentially, when we're looking for our ideal customer now, we're trying to look at bigger businesses, people that have sort of over $1 million in revenue, that have that growth mindset. So they tend to be across multiple industries. We are sort of wanting to branch out into different industries. Obviously, e-commerce, we're quite strong in. Obviously, motor industry, we're quite strong in as well. Just sort of been branching into different industries recently. We've brought on people like within law, skincare, etc. But it's really about the mindset of the customer, making sure that they have the revenue as well to support the spend. So essentially what we're trying to do is ensure that when we're signing a client, that they are happy to spend a minimum on retainer of about $6,000 a month, because mindful for you guys that if we're signing up someone who's only going to spend $2,000 in retainer, you're spending the same amount of time, effort in those meetings and everything else once a month to someone who's actually spending $10,000 retainer. So really trying to build up the ASP, the average sales price retainer there. Did that sort of answer your question, Tam, high level, or?
Yes, thank you. I think it's just important to note as well, guys, that we aren't turning away customers. So if they're not fitting the criteria that Mandy will take you guys through, or we had a client that we just knew no matter what we would do, we weren't going to get a result for him according to his standards. So we knocked him back. So we're really trying to protect, I guess, everyone in the team by having this really diligent process. And Mandy and Sonia, as much as the client's interviewing us, they're interviewing them as well. So that's really important to note as well.
Yeah, I knock out a lot of people at the discovery stage because, as Tam said, as much as they interview us, we interview them. We did, for example, have a client last week. We'd run a whole process in terms of spend and things like that would have been absolutely fine. And I think some of the people involved in the presentation process, Addie could probably attest to this, where we were you know, there were red flags for us that they were going to cause a problem for you guys long term, in terms of relationship expectations and things like that, and what they were after. So we actually ended up sending them a really nice email as to why we felt that we weren't a good fit for them, even though they wanted to work with us, and gave them referrals to other agencies that we felt would be better suited to what they were after. Likewise, if we think they're going to be a problem budget-wise and paying, then we will discount them as well. Yeah. So with that, I will share my screen with you guys. Give me 2 seconds. Let me know when you guys can see my screen. It looks like it's still coming through at your end. Can you guys all see it okay?
Yeah.
Yep. Forgive me also, now I'm going to be looking in different directions. I have 3 screens, so if I'm not looking at you guys, I'm just, you know, verbal cues work really well. Don't wait for a gap in the airwaves. If you've got a question, then just yell it out. So I'm not sure how many people have worked in HubSpot before, so I will give you a little bit of an overview general of HubSpot as well, because some of you may never have seen it, may not have used it that much. So up the top, we've got our black navigational bar, and to the right here, we've got the search bar. So if you're wanting to, you jump into HubSpot and you're wanting to find a company file or a particular person, you can just easily type in their details here. So for example, if I just type in family, any company that's associated with, you know, family law practice, family doctor, family planning, the contacts for them will come up, any companies, deals, meetings, notes, calls, etc. And you can simply click on that and go straight through. So when you're in a file, you've got the way to establish what file you're in. Always good to kind of have a bit of a check first off. Up the top here, it'll say whether you're in a contact record, a deal record, or a company record. First up though.
Mandy, sorry, could you zoom in just a little bit so we can see down the side on the left as you start to go through them? Sorry.
Any idea on a Mac how I do that, guys? Not bad.
Command plus, I think.
Command plus, thanks. Yes, being new to the Mac world. Is that better?
Is that good for everyone?
Is that okay, or you want me to go bigger again?
Change layout.
1 second, Mandy.
Is that better?
Yeah, that's what.
Everyone happy? No? Which one?
This one, the one.
Which one? The bottom one? Sidebar? Did the same. Do you want to come on?
Do you want me to make it bigger again?
Can everyone see? I can see. I know HubSpot, so if everyone can see. Yeah? Happy? Yeah? Cool. All right. Proceed. Thanks, Mandy.
No worries. So just in case you guys couldn't see before, on the top left here, you'll see where it says contacts. It'll tell you if you're in a contact file, a company file, or a deal record. But before I go through the records and where you find information, I just wanted to jump ahead and kind of explain the process. So this is my deals pipeline. So as soon as a new inquiry comes in from a contact form on our website or the web inquiry form, they will come through into my funnel here as a lead received. The very first thing that I do once a new lead comes through, I do some research on the company, have a look as to, you know, who they are. You can generally tell as well, looking at the company, whether, you know, budget potentially will be a problem, that sort of thing, and just sort of understanding, you know, what's their website look like? Do they have socials? Are they doing, you know, Google Shopping, Google Ads, all that sort of thing. Off the back of that, I will phone them immediately. If I don't get them on the phone, then I will be starting them in an appropriate email sequence. Within that sequence, there'll be emails, there'll be me reaching out on LinkedIn, phone calls and everything until I get in touch with them. Once they've been contacted, I will do what's called a discovery call. So this is a deep dive into the customer's scenario, you know, what they're looking for, really essentially pulling all that information out of them, and I'll show you what information I'm getting on a discovery call in a minute. Once that discovery call is finished, I'm then putting a brief through to the CMs to essentially assist with my presentation. Once that information is through and I've got all the information from the presentation, I'm ready to present. I then have a presentation meeting with the client. That generally takes an hour to an hour and a half, depending on how much we're presenting. And then obviously we go through to closing stage, sending out an official document, which is Quilla. At this stage, our quoting document for them to accept as well. And then once the deal is closed and won, then we essentially go through to that onboarding phase. In the onboarding phase, again, I'm reaching out to the CMs, letting them know we have a new customer, sending it to accounts as well, letting them know the details for invoicing, all about the customer. I'm also including links to the HubSpot deal record, links to presentations, links to the document that they've signed as well, and any special promises that have been given, sorry guys, outside the norm. 1 minute, hang on. Clearly I should have had more cups of tea this morning before presenting to you guys. So that's kind of a high level of the pipeline and what we're doing there. So if I jump back to a contact record, generally within HubSpot, I'm pointing you guys to the deal record or the contact record. So the contact record you'll see on the left-hand panel here, it's all the information about the client that's relevant that I want to know in a snapshot. For you guys, you can set this up to have information that is relevant to you and your roles. And when you're doing this, the only thing it's going to change is your view. It's not changing anyone else in the teams. So, feel free to customize this and put what's important to you. Like for me personally, I know that, one of my shortcomings is I forget to actually look and be aware of what state someone's in. So I don't want to be ringing someone at Perth at 8 o'clock in the morning because I'm waking them up. So for me, I want to know what state they're in straight away so that I don't make that mistake. But for you guys, you might want to have things like, people's birthdays, whatever is relevant to your job and that you need to see in a snapshot from here. To make changes to your view here, if you go down to view all properties, sorry guys, just got to wait for it to load. You can search through, there are a list of properties here that you have. You can remove something from your view, you can add something to your view nice and easily. Once you've done that, it will automatically put it on the left-hand panel over here, and you can drag and drop to change, which way round things are in your view. It's nice and easy. You don't actually need to save on this one. You just go back and it will automatically update your view for you. The middle pane here is your conversational pane. So this is, where all calls, meetings, notes, everything in relation to this particular contact is actually logged. You can have one pinned file at the top. Only one there, sorry. You can change your views here as well so that you can block out any noise, things that you don't need or want to see. Again, it only affects your view. So you can do that by clicking on this blue filter button. When we click on this, you can remove any of these things. Like for some of you, you may not want to see the marketing emails, life cycle changes and things like that. In sales, I generally want to see everything, but for you guys, you might want to remove some of the noise and just have those conversational parts and meeting notes, etc. So in relation to pinning to the top, so I'll scroll down first. If we scroll right down to the beginning of a contact file, you'll actually see how the person has come through to three-phase marketing. So in this case, we can see that they've submitted a form. If you click on the little arrow here on the left, it'll actually tell you the information that they've given us within the form. So in this case, they've come in via a LinkedIn lead. It's our in regards to our webinar for B2B generating more leads. And this is the information that Maria in this case has supplied. Off the back of that, it then starts a automatic workflow from a marketing perspective and things like that. So you'll see that they've come through, they've done the masterclass, and then I've reached out, I've done a call. So again, you can use the arrow, and if the call's got more information, it will tell you there. I've then booked a discovery call. So after that very first call, I booked the discovery call, and I've pinned it to the top of the file because the discovery call is going to have the most in-depth notes. So for doing a discovery call, on the right-hand side, in the right-hand panel, you've got the company that someone's associated to, you've got any deals they're associated to. But for doing the call, we actually have playbooks that I've built out here for the sales team. So there's one specifically that I follow for a discovery call, and I fill out the information that is relevant to that call and the customer's inquiry. So if I click on this arrow, you will see that I write a lot of notes for you guys. So essentially, if you think about this process, it's like, you know, Maria comes into the doctor's surgery and she says, I've got a problem with my toe, my big toe is really sore, you know, and from there, it's kind of like the discovery call is unpackaging, you know, everything to understand why Maria's toe is sore. So there's a lot of information in this, and information that's really helpful for you guys moving forward in your roles to understand all those conversations that have happened. And just, you know, going back to that doctor's analogy, you know, you wouldn't then go through to surgery without the surgeons reading all the notes prior from the doctors. So this is where, you know, I am writing a lot of information for you guys. You can click on the blue button to expand. In the discovery call, anything in bold is literally the question that's being asked. So the playbook is a script that we run through, and it's pulling through only the information that I've actually answered. So, you know, my very first question, what's going on for you, typing out, you know, what's happening, the company name, the position, if they're a new or existing business, what their website's built on, are they wanting branding, what sort of website, things like that. This particular one's actually only a homepage redesign, and it's also the main piece is actually their digital marketing, the Google ads. So you can see I'm asking them about, you know, how they're making money and understanding ASP, so understanding the different revenue streams within the business here that they have, who their target audience is. You'll see that I go into a bit of detail here, like industries that, you know, they're currently targeting, industries that they want more of. If they're telling us that, you know, there's different positions, job titles that they're wanting to target, age groups, all sorts of things like that. The key objectives that they're wanting to achieve with us, any keywords and phrases that they're wanting to rank for, competitors, websites that they like, anything they're wanting integrated, are they needing copy? So you'll see there's a lot of detail here. Again, how are they driving inquiry? Are they doing location targeting? How are they measuring conversion? What's their ROAS? What's their current ad spend? All of that information can be found in here. So that's that first discovery call. I pin it to the top of the file for you guys for two reasons. One, for when you're assisting me with my presentation, and as a brief for you guys, and also for you guys ongoing, you know, once a client signed up, you can actually come back to this original call and actually see everything that's written. And I will tell you that quite often I will write exactly what the client has actually said. So if a client says to me, and you know, you guys will have seen this with Lynch's one, I want my website to look shit hot for these reasons, then I use their language and I write what they are literally telling me. So it's sort of good to know exactly what was said as well. Little down arrow at the top here, you can redo that so that again you can see everything. So once that discovery call has been had, I will generally create a deal off the back of that if I've determined that this is someone that we actually want to work with moving forward or further investigate working with. In doing that, I will create a deal. Where's the deal record on my one? Sorry, guys. Where are we? Why can't I see that? I'm going blind, guys. On the right, where is the deal record associated with her? maybe I haven't created the deal on this one. Sorry, guys. Oh, here's the deal. Sorry. So I've created a deal record. You'll see on the right here. Again, with your panel on the right, you guys can actually determine what order you want things in. Again, it's drag and drop. So if we drag, it'll put it in a different place there for you. So again, you can customize that view as well. So you can click anything in HubSpot that is blue, is hyperlinked. It's, you know, interactive, which means you can click on it and go straight through to that file. Because I am screen sharing, and sometimes it takes ages when I'm screen sharing HubSpot to load things, I've actually preloaded that deal record here. So on the deal record, again, top right, you can see that we're in the, top left, you can see we're in the deal record. The deal record will obviously tell you the amount. It'll tell you when it was closed. Once it is closed, it'll tell you the deal stage, whose pipeline it is, etc. One of the things I should have mentioned, sorry, from the other file is on any of these records, you can call directly from here, you can email directly from here, etc., schedule meetings as well. So again, you will see that the discovery call is pinned to the top of the file there, so you're not having to search. Once a deal is closed and we're doing a kickoff meeting, I will pin the kickoff meeting to the top of this file for you. On the left-hand side here in the panel, some of the things that are really important for you guys to set up within your view is, one, the link to the scope of work, a link to the mock, a link to presentations, a link to promises, anything else that you need, you know, that's helpful for your role. Also, if there's a phased approach, I'll write notes here and say, hey, look, you know, phase 2, they're thinking of doing in 6 months' time is, you know, they finish with their digital marketing agency for SEO, for example. 6 months' time, let's reach out, re-SEO. So again, to make changes here to your view, if you scroll down to the bottom, view all properties. Wait for it to load, sorry, guys. And then we can search through the properties here. We can just type in the search link and you'll see that I've got the links, and you can add, if it's not in your view, it'll say on the right here, add to view. With doing that, again, you don't need to save it. You can change the order on the left-hand side here in which things will appear for you. Once you've done that back, it automatically saves for you. The advantage for you guys of having these fields is you can, if you see, if we hover over link to mock, it brings up this little square box with an arrow. If you click on that, it'll take you straight through to the mock. Same with the presentation, same if there's a scope of work that's been done by Rich for a website build. Again, I've opened these in advance to show you. So if you were to click on the mock one, it'll take you straight through to the mock that we've shown the client. If you were to click on the presentation one, it's actually going to take you straight through to the presentation that we've given the client. So the presentation is a great way as well for you guys to actually gain further information. The first part of presentations, the first sort of 9-10 slides, is always about us. But then you'll see current situation, and that is client. And again, we'll have the brief. So again, I've summarized those discovery notes at high level. You know, the business, the industries they want to target, the 2 main avatars, the objectives. Quite often I will actually have statistics in here as well. So if someone said we currently get 10 leads a month, but we need 30 leads and our ASP is this and we want to increase it to this, that will actually be listed in the objectives as well. Whoops, sorry guys. The timing and the budget as well. So quite often the budget is to be determined, but I will have what the current ad spend is, and I update the record in HubSpot once we have that information. So this is obviously what we're presenting to the client, a bit about them, our approach. I've filled out, you know, what we're going to do in regards to website optimization. Again, there is a link to that mock there. Any SEO information that, you know, we've asked Sanka to do, all those slides are there so that you can see that. The share of voice that Addie would have done if it's Google Ads. with the share of voice and the information that's here, just bear in mind that it is very high level. It's off that first scope. So we will actually tell people that this is high level, that we will do further scoping with them, you know, once we set up with them to make sure. And again, that's what we're doing in that kickoff meeting, making sure that, you know, we have those target audiences right, making sure we have their list of keywords and things like that as well. It will also go through, obviously in this presentation, you know, we're also going through things like, you know, what is life as a client like? What can they expect? That they're going to get these monthly strategy sessions with you guys, the master classes, that we will assist with quarterly board reports if they require, that they have the dashboards, and we have partnerships, etc. So we also go through the love us or leave us guarantee. And then we go through our tailored solutions for them. So we're going through the one-time investment, which is their setup costs, and what that's going to involve in terms of costing. We will also go through their custom marketing plan long-term, as in the costs for the retainer, etc. And this one, forgive me, is not completed yet because I'm going through the process here at the moment. We will also go through things like your 90-day action plan. This one's SEM only, so that's why it's only got the SEM action plan, and then what the next steps are, and we have relevant case studies and things for them as well. So the client will get a copy of this after the presentation. So you can kind of see there's a lot of information in here that you guys can use, look over before, you know, first outreaching to a client. The other thing on the, so again, middle pane, same thing. It's the conversations related to the deal. Right-hand pane here. Again, you'll be able to see the company associated with the deal, and you'll be able to see the Quilla record. So the Quilla record is once we've done the presentation and the client has said, yep, you know, we want to go ahead with you guys, or can you please send us, you know, the quotation. I complete a Quilla document for them, and I should have pre-opened this for you guys. Sorry, I'm just going to do it now. Hopefully it loads quickly. So this is the Quilla document. This one hasn't been pre-filled yet because we're not at that stage yet with them, but I've got it prepared for, you know, further stages. So within that, it's obviously going to be the company, who we've presented to, and the date. Within that as well, we always fill out a letter here to them, and this will go over things that they're experiencing now, their challenges, things like that. So again, it's a further summary of, you know, why they're using us, you know, what do they want to see results in, what sort of changes are they expecting, things like that. We're then running through in a meeting with them, the Quilla, exactly what they can expect. So this one, obviously with digital marketing services, running through, you know, that they're going to get an account manager, the implementation team, what the campaign manager's role is, the 90-day plan. This one also has the website component. So we've got, you know, in relation to website features, what they're going to be getting in relation to a website. We go through the process, what they can expect. So, you know, that we've done the estimating and the scoping with them. From there, if it's a website build, you know, that we're going into pre-production, what that means, the Figma design stage, the change management phase, what sort of changes that they're allowed within that as well, with those 3 rounds of changes, going into development, soft launch, go live, the fact they get the certificate of completion, handover, training. So we're going into a lot of detail here. I'm actually walking them through all of this, and even doing the Quilla will generally take me about half an hour because I walk them through everything. From there, there will be, give me 2 seconds and I'll set one up. We'll just put in here this, for example. You will be able to see in the quotation anything that, you know, services that they are paying for. And what I might actually do, guys, forgive me, I'm going to change to one who's actually signed so that you can see a Quilla document that actually has completed. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, guys. Okay, so if I go through to the family lawyer, And on the right-hand side here, the Quilla, you'll see that they've accepted the document. If I go into the document, it's actually going to tell me that it's been accepted. We can't make changes. So again, as I was saying, it's got who we've presented to, about, where they're at, what they're wanting to achieve, and this we've already been through. Within the quote, one of the things I wanted to run through with you is that we can only within the quote have the pricing upfront that they're accepting for the setup fees and the upfront costs. So we will have them here. It'll have the price, etc. If there's any discount offered, it'll have detailed what they get within that as well. So SEM setup, what it entails, SEO setup, what it entails. It'll also have there any ongoing retainer services as well. But you'll see the price isn't over here. We are having to add it as an extra column as text. So it'll say that the monthly ongoing investment is $5,000 plus their Google ad spend. Because it's a contract, we're not actually writing what their Google ad spend is in there. Again, that's available on HubSpot within the kickoff meeting and the discovery call as well. But it will tell you exactly what they're getting. So you'll know, for example, with these guys, they've got the SEO traffic booster, for example, that we're doing a blog for them each month, for example. Going back to that, yeah, essentially, I guess that's it, kind of high level. I'm aware that that was a lot, and I just spoke at you guys for about the last 30 minutes. Does anyone have any questions or?
Mandy, can I just add to this as well? I think you guys can now see just how refined the new business process is compared to, for those of you that have been here for some time, we didn't have one. And the amount of information that Mandy gets through the discovery call, even that kickoff session, they're also recorded, those kickoff sessions. That's a non-negotiable now. So the idea in how that relates back to all of your roles individually is if you, Alex, get a new copy job for a new client you haven't worked on, spend some time going into HubSpot, have a look at all that information. Jez, if you're doing a Figma for a new client, do the same thing. Watch the kickoff meeting if you didn't attend it. Go through and read all of that information. Thank you, whoever did that. I can't see.
Jez.
Yes, thank you. Everyone, AdOps team, SEO team, doesn't matter who you are, if you're working on a new client, the expectation is you are going through and reading all of this information because it's gold. And the other thing that you'll see is you'll probably find opportunity when you're reading that as well. If you're kicking off, then you can go to Mandy and say, hey, I was reading through the kickoff notes and I also think they should do X, Y, and Z, for example. So as a leadership team, we'll come back to you about just, I guess, the reconfirming the expectations on how you're using this, but that's the idea behind it. So everyone needs to get around HubSpot a bit more. There is a link to HubSpot through ClickUp as well, because I know that HubSpot is a completely new environment. So you can actually access the customer's company page through ClickUp. So perhaps post this meeting, I will remind you guys how to do that as well. But I hope that demonstrates, I guess, how you guys will be using HubSpot and the expectations around it.
Can I also quickly add to that as well, Tam, with the views down the side? I know Mandy took you all through how to update your views and things like that. Mandy, I know you and I have discussed creating like a little short list of kind of what those views should look like, just to make sure that you guys set your views up with the same format and information, that the information will be easily accessible for you. So Mandy and I will distribute that to everyone. So
I think everybody can decide.
Yeah.
Like Rich, I think you would know what designers need. So is Rich on the call?
No, because I think he and Sonia are on a call at the moment with the client. Oh, no, they might be doing the landing pages actually, sorry.
Just to make sure everyone's looking at the same. That's the premise. Let the leaders
can go, this is what our team's going to need, and then we can send it out.
Yeah. Awesome. And if anyone needs, any kind of one-on-one to go through things, I'm always sort of more than happy to do that as well, because it's super important for all of our teams to be aligned. One, it helps with culture and things like that. And I want you guys to be able to come back to me as well if you have any feedback, if there's things that, are not working that we're doing that you need further information or anything like that. Always really happy to include anything within the sales process to make things easier for you, because not only does it help, for us as a team, but it also helps for the client's experience as well. The client, we're gaining so much knowledge in that sales process. It's so important for everyone to have been across it so the client experience remains consistent, and that they feel like it's not like, they've been dealing with one person here and then shoved over here. We're wanting the client experience to be a really nice, seamless experience, aware with, changes and setting up new things that initially there have been a few hiccups, but hoping with the changes we've put in place moving forward that it'll be a really nice experience for you guys and also for the customer. Perfect. Well, I'll hand you over to Tam, shall I? Tam, you can close up.
Thanks, Mandy.
No worries. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.